up, family? Welcome to the Overnight Cyclist. I'm your host, G Harris, and today we're going to review my bike computer, the Bryton Rider 15. To give you an accurate review, I have my notes here. So first, I want to break down the company, Bryton Sport. They're based out of Taipei, and they're a manufacturer of GPS cycling computers that aim to fulfill consumer needs in 4 areas: cycling, fitness, outdoor adventure, and athletic training. Now, I ran across this company when I was looking for a bike computer about last August, I want to say, last September. Before, I had been using my phone, so I was using different apps. At first, I started out with Map My Ride. No, I started out with Samsung Health, then Map My Ride. I used Strava for a little bit, didn't like it. And then I was using Wahoo Fitness. The only thing I didn't like about using apps on my phone is that as I wanted to go further, I was limited by my phone's battery. So if my phone's battery could only last 2 hours with the GPS running, then that was as long as I could ride. And I knew I needed something better, something that was a dedicated device to tracking my rides if I wanted to go on longer rides. There were other things too, like if my battery was low and I still wanted to get a quick ride in, so I put the phone in power save mode, and in power save mode, the GPS shuts off, so then the phone wouldn't track it. So I knew I needed something better than that, and so I ran across Bryton products when I was doing research. I looked up Garmin and Wahoo, all the things that people tell me to look up, and just at the time, for what I wanted at that time, Garmin and Wahoo just seemed way too expensive. Like, I looked at the stuff and I was like, dang, man, $200, $400 for a Garmin. I don't even know if I need all of these features that it has. And so what I was looking for was something simple, and I found these devices on eBay and on Amazon. So why did I choose the Bryton product over Garmin and Wahoo? First off, I've never been a follower of big brand. I don't have brand loyalty or anything like that. I go with what is the best product for me. I do a thorough review of the product. I study it. I see what is its features. I do comparisons, and I try to find what's the best product for me at that given time. And the most attractive thing about the Bryton devices was the simplicity and the price. As you saw, I have the Bryton Rider 15. It's one of their entry-level devices. All right, it is a very simple cycling computer. Let me give you the features. It has a 16-hour battery life. I could get about 3 to 4 rides out of it before I had to charge it up. It is a GPS device, meaning you don't need a speed sensor for it to work. So all you have to really do is just power on. It's able to pick up GPS satellites. It'll be able to track your ride wherever you go. It has one-touch recording, so literally you just push the button to turn it on, push another button on the back of it, as you can see here, start your ride, and it will record your ride wherever you go until you push the button to tell it to stop. It also has smart pause, so when you stop, it'll automatically pause the ride for you. It has heading mode. Heading mode is basically, there's a compass on the screen as you see here, and the screen can show you what direction you're heading. So it'll tell you if you're heading north, south, east, west, southwest, whatever. Why this is important: when you're fighting wind. Bluetooth, it connects with your phone. You can actually set it up to receive messages on the screen that'll tell you, like someone's texting you or someone's calling you or someo's emailing. I never used this feature. It also has an app. Easy to use app, as you can see here on the screen. It's very simple. It shows you, your list of your activities. Click on one of the activities, it shows you, the stats and everything, and then it has a couple other tabs that are more detailed and shows you exactly shows you all of the information that it tracked during your given ride. All right, so let's get to the pros and cons. All right, so pro, ease of use. Like I said before, it is a very, very simple bike computer, okay? All you do is turn it on. It comes on very quickly, and then you just press one button on the back, and boom, it'll start recording. When you're done, you press that same button again, boom, your ride's done. It's already saved it, okay? Owned this device for almost a year, and I've never had it freeze up in the middle of a ride. I have heard that happening to many Garmin and Wahoo users. I'm not even sure what causes that, but I've never had that issue. If anything, I don't think it's ever stopped in the middle of a ride and just not recorded my ride. I've never had that issue. It's light, it doesn't feel bulk or heavy. The display is easy to read in all conditions. I've never had trouble seeing my ride stats at any given time. All right, it can be in the brightest of sun. I'm talking about the middle of the day, noon, 1 p.m. I could be out riding, which I don't recommend right now because it is hot. But I could be out in the middle of the day riding, and I've never had a problem being able to see the screen and see how fast I'm going, seeing where my cadence is, or seeing how far I've gone, or how long I've been riding. And as you all have seen in my videos, I ride with a visor on, and I've never had a problem being able to see the screen. The app is relatively easy to use. Once you set up your Strava account and things like that, the app will automatically upload it for you. Once the ride has been uploaded into the Bryton app, then it'll upload it to Strava for you. The GPS appears to be pretty accurate. If you go back and look through some of my old Strava routes, you won't see those squiggly lines everywhere. Like sometimes I'll go and look at some people's routes and I can tell when they're not recording with like a cycling computer, because their GPS route will be all over the place. It won't actually be on the road, especially like when they ride through some place where their device is losing the GPS connection. Like if it's in the woods or under a bridge or in a downtown where there's tall buildings, you'll look at their route and it'll show them riding through the middle of a building. And that's not possible. They were on the street. But I've never had that issue with it. The GPS seems to be able to track and follow you wherever you go. Battery life, a week of riding before charge. So I can get 4 or 5 rides out of it before I have to charge it up. The biggest pro that I have on this thing is the price. I got it for $80 with a cadence sensor. I got the bundle and it came with cadence sensor and the unit. Let's get to the con. Uploads. Remember I said it automatically uploads. Once you sync it with the phone, it'll automatically upload your ride data. Sometimes it glitches and it is slow to upload tracks. It does this about once a month, where I have to close the app and restart the device a couple of times just to get it to resync. All right. Sometimes on longer rides, it does take a while to upload, not something insanely like 10-15 minutes, but something like 4 or 5 minutes. Most of the time for a lot of rides under 2 hours, it might take up to 30 to 45, maybe a minute to get it uploaded. But bigger rides, it might take a couple of minutes. It does not have navigation. Remember, this is a very simple entry-level GPS device. So if you're looking for something to tell you where to turn, it's not the device for you. I would recommend looking into the Bryton 400 series, or looking into a Wahoo, a Garmin, or a Lezine device. One of those that actually has navigation built into them. I didn't need that at the time. I still don't need it because, I know my city. I've been living here my whole life. I know all the streets, so I really don't have to, use GPS to get to where I'm going. It doesn't support interval training or workouts. Basically, it doesn't have a lap feature at all. There's 3 buttons on the whole device. The middle one controls the pages. One button controls the menu and on or off and the start and stop of the ride, and that's it. There's no other buttons, there's no alerts or anything like that. It does not support a power meter. So if you have a power meter and you want to use this device, it's not going to support it. It doesn't pull up those metrics. No time and distance alerts. The Bryton Rider 15 actually doesn't make any sounds at all. The GPS does seem to lose you under bridges. Now, when I say loses you, what I mean is I've watched my speed drop under a bridge because the GPS can't see me. It still tracks the route fine, but it loses how fast I'm going. It's also done that in downtown. So it'll say like I might be riding I might be riding heading towards the bridge, and I'll look down at it and it says I'm doing 18 miles an hour, and then when I get under the bridge it'll drop and say I'm doing 12, and my cadence hasn't changed, My speed hasn't changed. It's just that it lost me. But it doesn't seem to show up in the maps like that. It still shows a straight line. It doesn't show it diving off into like the water or something like that. It doesn't show any of that. The display is limited. It only allows up to 4 fields, and customization is limited. Now you can change the display and modify it in the app. Okay, that's the only way you can change it. You can't change it on the device. You have to go into the app to change it. But the fields, you're only limited to 4 fields. If you don't have a heart rate monitor, then there's 1 field, then you're basically limited to 3 fields, because the 4th field is reserved for just the heart rate. It won't pop up if it doesn't detect a heart rate sensor. The other top field is limited to just cadence. And again, if you don't have a cadence sensor, it won't pop up. So you have speed and distance. You can create pages. As you can see here, you see me cycling through the pages. So you can create pages, and you can have different pages with different information, but it's literally, limited to what you can put in certain fields. Oh, now this is a big one. It needs to be in an out front mount for accurate elevation recording. So as you can see here in the video, the Bryton Rider 320 is mounted in an out front mount. All right. Now I used to ride, before I got the out front mount, I used to ride with it with some of the mounts that came with it, and it was actually, as you can see, mounted to my stem. What I found is when I moved into the out front mount, I saw that my elevation readings were much different on same routes that I was riding. And I realized that the stem must have been interfering with the sensor that tracks elevation gain. It was giving inaccurate elevation reading. If you're going to buy these devices, I recommend getting an out front mount, because that's the only way you're going to get an accurate elevation reading. If you don't care for elevation reading, then mount it anywhere you want. You can mount it on the handlebars. When you buy the product, it actually comes with mounts for you so that you can do that. So who is this product good for? If you are looking for a bike computer with navigation and a device to help you train seriously, then this isn't the product for you. Don't buy the Bryton Rider 15. I would recommend checking out the 300 or 400 series of Bryton products, or go to a Garmin or a Wahoo, or look at some of the more expensive Lezine devices. If you're looking for things that support power meters, support training metrics, actually have the lap feature so that you can do workouts, all kinds of things like that. That is the main reason why I upgraded to the Bryton Rider 320, because I started getting into those things. When I first started, I just wanted to ride. I didn't really care about training. I didn't care about getting into racing or anything like that, but I probably should have went with an upgraded model to begin with, because I know my competitive streak. Who is this product good for? If you are an entry-level rider, so like there's a couple of Facebook groups that I'm a part of where I see some people who they're entry-level riders, or they're just people who are very casual riders, but they do ride long distances. They just don't care about metrics. They don't care about tracking their heart rate. They don't care about training with power. They just want to go out and ride for 4 hours. And the thing about it is, you can have all the apps in the world, you can have all the devices in the world. Your phone is just not the right device for that kind of riding. If you want to do 3-4 hour ride, you want to go out and ride for 50-60 miles, you don't really care about pace, you just want to go out and ride. And I get that, I understand that, because riding a bike is extremely fun. Using your phone is just not going to get you there. So I would recommend one of these devices, because for one, it's extremely cheap, $80, and it'll track anything you wanted to track. I've done my longest ride using this bike computer. It tracked it just fine. Didn't have no problems with it. Great thing about using a cycling computer is that it gives you a dedicated device. All right, so you can put your phone in your back pocket. You don't have to worry about your phone dying, halfway through the ride. So if you get in trouble, you still have access to your phone. Call somebody, call for help, call for SAC support, whatever. And I stress the importance of that, because you never know what's going to happen, when you out ride. So in cycling, you now have a way to keep your phone charged, and that's by using a dedicated cycling device. Thank you for taking the time to watch this vid. I know that was a lot of information to unpack, but I wanted to give you guys a thorough review of this product. There aren't many reviews out on Bryton products because it's a smaller company. I've been very impressed with the brand. I like the design of the products. They're simple, they're easy to use. I haven't had a lot of problems out of them doing the rides and stuff like that. I've given you the issues where I have had problems in, but I think they're good alternatives to the pricier products that Garmin and Wahoo off. My thing is, I'm not a brand person, and I know that there are people out there who feel the same way. You're not a brand person, you're not loyal to Garmin or Wahoo or whoever. You want to use the best possible product for you. So check out Bryton. I hope this review is very helpful. Please like and subscribe. If you got any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to get to them. I hope you guys enjoy getting out and riding and checking out all of God's great creation that he has for us to explore. I'm the Overnight Cyclist. Peace.